much did you have to put in to make that rave happen?
Not a lot, funny enough.
$5,000 or $3,000? Or?
It's hard to say now. I can't tell you now. But one thing I do know, actually, it might have been a good couple of grand. We used to spend something like $1,500, $2,000 on our flyers. Yeah. But again, everyone knew that our flyers, we made sure we had the biggest flyers. And like they were the baddest designers, crazy shapes that we spent money. Them days flyers were a lot more anyway.
Because by now, you've got your brand now. Now it's HLC, red hearts everywhere, red logo everywhere. You've got your own logo, you know, you've got proper photo shoots done.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, there's a real style, there's a brand to it.
Yeah, we had a brand. I mean,
but how did you know that coming up that we've got I'm sure you didn't call it a brand, but like you were all had this kind of same image, everything you've done.
Because there's a part that I missed out, basically. Just backtracking slightly, I used to work at solicitors, basically, when I was younger. When I left school, that was my first and only real job, working at solicitors. And what I used to do while I was there, on my lunch break, I used to go WH Smith's, and I like reading anyway. I was always in WH Smith's every lunch break, and I would be reading all the books, and I started to read I was reading all different books, you understand, stuff related to music and stuff like that. But in particular, I was reading Exchange and Mart, and I was always clocking all the merchandise stuff, key rings, hats, this, that, and the other. So, I was always onto business. I was always into selling stuff. So I always had that, and I was like, come back to guys, wow, you know what, you need to make T-shirts. Like, you understand? We need to make key rings. We need to make pens. You understand? Watches. You understand? Literally, and all these things. And that was just by me every lunchtime being in thing, looking at that thing. I come back to the guys first. You know what? We need an office. Yeah. Well, I'm like, oh no, I'm not too sure. I said, no, we need an office, Man, when I found an office in Tottenham, and so we had our office. And again, this is why we was leaps and bounds ahead, because I always had a business head. Like Moe and Fonti are much more musical than me, so to speak. But I'm a more entrepreneurial kind of thing. So I was like, let's get an office. Got an office, you understand? And at first, me and Moe was like literally manning the office. We were doing all our own bookings, proper self-run. We had our own bookings. We had a rucksack diary, and me and Moe was doing all that kind of stuff. I was kind of more spared in it. Moe was doing that, the back end, more the secretarial kind of thing. He's very methodical and putting things in order in that sense as well. So we was doing that, and then I brought in my girlfriend. She came in and she took on doing our bookings. So it's around probably 99, 2000 times. So we had our own office and was running our own shit. And I used to say to these guys back then that we're little boys running big man business, because, again, it sounds funny. We was making like 20, 30 grand a month. That we was actually cleaning up, like making some proper money, because we was charging a lot of money for bookings anyway. You understand? We was getting booked all over the place. You understand? Plus then we was doing our own raves. And I used to always say to them, like, wow, man, I'm running a big man business, you know. Wow, you understand? And we're boys basically, but we was organised, we was tight. Like I said, Moe is very organised anyway, in the way he does things set to set. And I've got a good energy. I'm always out there meeting people, networking, and you understand, stuff like that. So it was just working in sync, and then my girl was doing the bookings for us at the back end. So of everything. And always,
how would it kind of work, Bush, in terms of like the three of you? Like, I know that you're good at networking, you're out and about, you're a very people person. Was Moe more in the office, and was Fonti more looking after buying records, or how did that really kind of work?
At first, and this is, in a way, if Fonti was here, Fonti would say that it wasn't the beginning and the end, but it was a deviation in what we was doing. So Fonti, like I said, he's musical. So at the time we started to get a hype, I'm clocking the business and the money side of things. Fonti was clocking the music side of things. So me and Fonti have always been on the same page, but sometimes opposite. So at that time, maybe let's just call it 98. Basically, when we're starting to get everything 99. Because I said to these man, we need to buy a studio. We was making a lot of money. I said, we need to buy a studio. No, we can't. But we was making enough cheddar. I said, come. And we went and bought a studio, basically. So at this stage here, it's like, it's a crossroad. I'm saying to these man, wow, we need to get an office now. You understand? They were always a bit umlari, basically, but I'm saying, wow, we need an office, you understand, like this to run our business. And Fonti saying, no, you know, we need to make the album and continue making music, basically. But Fonti, where he's more musician, and this way it kind of split. I said, all right, you make the music in the studio, and I'm going to do the office things. Like me and Fonti more the two spearheads, in fact, but Moe come with me, Mo's organising and stuff. So me and Mo was doing the office side of things.
Right.
And so I might be sparing the kind of ideas, and Mo's doing the back end of it, basically. I thought it was in the studio.
Yeah.
Yes, and doing the music kind of thing. But what was happening, the office and stuff was accelerating at a much faster rate. Because obviously our name's out there, you understand? And where Fonti's in the studio by himself, he hasn't necessarily got the vibe. The vibe is necessarily all three of us.
Yeah.
So that's where it kind of, in a way, looking back on it in hindsight, it's like it kind of split the thing in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's left himself to make music, and me and Mo doing all the office work, making bare links, doing this, doing all that, and it's all happening as well.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing about it, because me and Fonty spoke about it the other day.
So actually your success was kind of hurting you in a way, making it harder for you.
Exactly, very much.
If you had none
so.
of that, it'd be great. You'd be in the studio every day.
All day long.
Just vibing.
But
and,
yeah,
you know.
exactly. And what we doing, because me and Fonty spoke about it the other day, and he was saying, you know what, I wasn't saying what you was doing was wrong. It was just wrong timing, according to him. And I was saying, well, to me, is that using studio, you're a music man, make the beats, but he said I find it difficult to make the beats by myself. This is us talking like in this day and age, basically. So I would find
neither of you are wrong, really. I mean,
exactly. And I go at the end. I said to him, you know what it was? It's such a funny thing, because the office stuff was working so well. Yeah. If it wasn't working so, I'd probably come back and say, oh, you know what, Front, you're right. Let's all make music. Yeah. But where it was working and it was flying, basically. Remember, we was making t-shirts. Our t-shirts were selling out like hotcakes. We started to make watches.
Yeah, you couldn't get them.
Yeah, it was like we moved from our small little office. We had a small, tiny office. We moved downstairs to a big office with a waiting room. Then we had mannequins in our office and stuff. And again, my whole headspace, which starting Heartless Crew, was family business. So along the way, we're bringing in our friends to work. We're bringing my brethren, Longers, my cousin Fergie. They were doing security. God was coming in, doing that, driving and all the record drops, because we was making our own records, steadying them that were doing the street team work. You understand? So we was bringing, my missus was doing the bookings, and then Gaynor, that was Fonty's girl at the time, after she came in, she was doing the merchandise. And my missus Mariana, she come in. So at once, there was about 10 people working in our office. It was quite crazy business, and it was shelling down. We was going to Iron Apple again. Was doing our own raves and stuff like that out there. Was looking out Iron Apple. So it was all happening.